Hi fellas, regarding our Tommy Robinson and our Paul Golding, Britain First, please try not to be scared of these PC, Labour, left-wing bullshit merchants. I mean, was Winston Churchill afraid to say the truth? Is President Trump scared to tell the truth about how Islam's hated us for 1450 years? And he's not wrong. And you can shout all the virtue signal, oh bigot, racist, daddy, daddy, daddy. The people shouting these virtue signal keywords, bullshit words, are the ignoramuses. Yes, the people, the modern day ignoramuses that have heard that, oh, those crusaders were all bad people, weren't they? You know, anyone that wore the cross of Jerusalem, this is what they used to wear. This is the flag of Jerusalem when we held Jerusalem for about 250 years in the middle of a sea of savage Muslims. Yes, we really did do this. The Franks, the French, with English help. We really did we held Jerusalem for 250 years and it flourished. It flourished under Christianity. Even the Muslims and the Jews did great business. Everyone was very happy it was back in Christian hands because Christianity has never been deeply oppressive, deeply racist, deeply supremacist like Islam is and always has been. So when President Trump starts calling the shots and our Tommy Robinson standing up for our soldiers and Britain First and me and the guys are standing outside a hate mosque, Didsbury hate mosque, where it's had a long history of preachers calling for jihad. What's jihad? Jihad is the Islamic way, the Islamic idea of taking the world and conquering the entire world for the grace of Allah, for their own pockets, to fill their own pockets and leave their own people in poverty, just like they've done all over the Arabian Peninsula and all over the Middle East for 1400 years. Who occupied, who ran, who dominated the whole of the Middle East for 500 to 600 years before Muhammad, the Prophet, had his visions, i.e. aka psychotic episodes. Yeah, he really must have been a paranoid schizophrenic. He went off for periods of seclusion in the caves of Hira. Well, this is a well-known facet of mental illness. It really is, of schizophrenia. I should know. So when Britain First and that Jamaican guy and all the rest of you Manx, you good Manx guys I met last Saturday, even you Range Rover drivers, get some balls. Regrow your balls. It doesn't matter if you're working for the council or if you're scared of your career. You know, you've got the right to say, well, my grandfather fought in the First World War. He put his life on the line for my kids, for me. You know, I don't accept that Islam is the religion of peace. It never has been. Islam, in its dubious, bloody history, has killed 250 million plus. That's what historians say it's killed. In India alone, they killed 60 million poor people. There was a historian around about that time who recorded that the gutters were foot deep in in civilians' blood. It was a foot deep in civilians' blood. There were executions, hundreds of thousands, week after week after week. Everyone they captured, chop, 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 because they wanted to steal all our goods, all our houses. They wanted to sell all our kids as sex slaves. This is what Islam has done for 1400 years. Who organised and ran the entire human slave trade for 1400 years? Was it English? No, we were still living in mud huts. Was it the Americans? Well, not really. America was only discovered in the 1700s, so it certainly wasn't them. It was Islam. The Prophet of Islam, in their Quran, which I've read, was a slave dealer. He was a slave owner, a slave dealer. He personally cut the throats. He smited them about their necks, quote. The Prophet of Allah smited them about their necks. So what was he doing? Putting a necklace on them. Is there any ambiguity in that phrase? He smited them about their necks. Indeed, it's 4 or 5 people specifically mentioned by name even describes in a couple of cases what they were wearing, who the Prophet of Islam did murder. And of course there's that little section, that little incriminating section took out of the Quran about Hassan and Hussein, two little boys who he was abusing orally, and he didn't even stop when his followers came in. How disgusting is that? And they even forgive that of him. Oh, such a gentle individual. He really chopped people's heads off with these. That's how gentle he was. He was an absolute disgusting monster. Anyway, please help Paul Golding expose the truth about the hate speech in virtually every one of the mosques in the UK. If you've got a mosque, they are after world domination. Mosques are charities paid for with Saudi Arabian money. Yeah, the same Saudi Arabians that still kill gays, kill apostates, that's anyone trying to leave Islam, and stone women to death. You know, they lash women's backs to the bone till the flesh is hanging off them for being raped or jailed. This is who supports with Islam. It's completely barbaric. And people say, well, the Crusaders did bad things. Well, yeah, we did. We went in there, and since they chopped all our people's heads off, we chopped a few of theirs. But they'd already dominated, enslaved, dragged off millions, well, certainly about 1 million poor kids into sexual slavery. Islam has fully castrated, cut the dick and nuts off around 15 million people. You know, at first it was Christian boys, Jewish boys, and later, of course, far more African boys. I mean, they just slice it all off with a knife, so we just left with a big gaping hole pouring with blood. And 7 out of 10 died, but the 3 that survived, the 30% that survived, were worth 10 or 20 times as much as slaves. So great business. They kept on slashing nuts off for 1400 years. How bestial is that? And don't forget, don't forget, Islam and the Muslims are still female genitally mutilating their girls, cutting out their little super sensitive clitorises, cutting the nerve endings, slicing off the woman's labia, the side lips, all over the USA, all over UK, all over Saudi Arabia, all over Palestine, Iraq, Iran, Saudi, etc., etc. This is what you're dealing with. You are dealing with a load of primeval savages, bestial guys with no conscience, who you know, whatever the sins they do during the week, even if they've murdered people or mass raped thousands of girls, which they are doing all over the UK. It's proven now, that the police have admitted it. It's going on all over the UK. At least 71 towns and cities, they are attacking, you know, giving our girls heroin, and they usually are drug dealers. And most of these rapes and what have you go on over Just Eat, Hungry House kebab shops, via Facebook, or via corner shops or taxis. Not Hackneys, I should say. These unchecked private hire taxis. That's the fact of the matter. And in my town, not a mile from where I'm sat now, tonight, I've seen this. I've seen this grooming going on 24 years ago. I told 2 police women, don't want to know, blamed it on the victims. I told my boss, oh, it's not affecting my business. A few of my workmates were very concerned. And the only reason it was shut down for a while was because I sent a letter to the immigration, because we're all illegals. And I believe also some gangsters walked in there with a shotgun, told them to get out of it, because it was probably one of their relatives. They got pregnant, they got loads of girls pregnant, and Joseph, the main man, the Kurdish guy, this kebab boy, you know, was quite charming with the girls. He used to brag, oh, I've had 5 virgins. He used to go for like 12, 14-year-olds, and it was because of this fake news, religion of peace bullshit we've been fed for years. They used to trust them. They used to go upstairs and, oh, I always say we'll pull out, but I won't. This is how they abuse our kids. And I said to him, well, he said to me once, I was a taxi driver, he was telling me this once. I turned around to him, looked him right in the face and said, well, if I was one of those girls' fathers, I'd shoot you right in your face. And I could have done at the time, if you get my meaning. Could have easily done. I had plenty of toys then. So You know, we're talking about this bestial Islam. It's been racist, supremacist and mass murdering for thousands of years, 1400 years. So anyway, good luck with Paul. I'll see you at the next demo. I might try and you know, replace that gadget I lost, and I might try and buy some new equipment as well. So just had a little bit of good news on the financial front. So don't be afraid to speak up. It's savage, barbaric Islam. It's always been ball cutting, clitoris cutting. It's killed 250 to 300 million people over vast, over 1400 years. With Islam, Muhammad, it makes Adolf Hitler look like a pussy on the death count. And where do you think, the Gestapo, Adolf Hitler, got the idea of the death camps of the Holocaust from? He got it from the 1915 Armenian massacre, where they really did sadistically and in the most painful and agonising ways possible, they really did extinguish, they wiped out, committed genocide on 1.5 million old trusting Christians, basically from paranoia and envy, because they thought they might help the Russians invade and take them. Well, the Russians never did invade, but the people still lost their lives. That's how paranoid Islam is. And just like the Prophet was, he killed many of his own followers. 4 followers tried to leave Islam, and he sent assassins after them, and they chopped off their hands and feet and poked off their eyes and left them to die in the desert sun. That's how gentle Islam is. Okay, so I'll see you at the next meet. I wanted to bring some of my accessories, but that old party pooper Paul just wouldn't let me bring this. I'm joking. Okay, see you guys. Bye bye.